Normally, I am not from banking, but I am very curious to know that how this the banking system is to work. But right, I am talking about the strategies for fresh fruits and vegetables in the context of time and distance. My the presentation will go with the basic of these fruits and vegetables, how you need to handle, because there is no one particular single recipe we can able to talk about. Okay, one which is works in Kashmir may not work in Jammu, and some works in here may not work in Bangalore, and something doesn't work in Rajasthan, right? So the thing is that you need to understand the basic concept of these the fruits and vegetables, because they are a very diverse ecosystem. Apple needs something different, and the plum needs something different, whereas we are talking about this apricot a totally different, and sea buckthorn a totally different approach, right? And this post-harvest technology, basically, you were talking about, during these early days in this J&K, and it's socio-economic affairs, right? Socio-economic affairs means whenever you have a much better post-harvest standard, it's closely linked to socio-economic condition of the tree, right? We have rice, we have wheat, and we have normally we say rasam, right? Those are the basic food needs. Suppose if you want to have a value chain, people must have their ability to buy those things. You are talking about, you need to put the grading systems, you need to put the transportations, you need to put the money, right? For those things, you need to have a investment. That's not capital, right? That capital comes with the economic activities of the particular region. If you don't have the economic activities, all these things doesn't work so at all, right? So, how these fruits and vegetables handlings that related to socio-economic conditions, basically, you just think about early 10,000 years ago, how the human beings were, right? And we just talk about now, we talk about artificial intelligence. It starts from just Homo sapien to Stone Age to civilization, industrial, now this is the generations, right? If you see this picture, it will talk about there is not much difference between fruits and the human beings and the fruits and vegetables. We speak, the only thing is that doesn't speak. But we respire, we transpire, we get sick, and we die, right? All those things are similar to fruits and vegetables, right? The issue is that it was quite good when it attached to the plant, but once it gets harvested, but it continued to do. It continued to do the respires, it continued to do the respiration, transpiration. That is where understanding a certain kind of its internal things called, we say the physiological aspects. Okay, we need to understand those metabolic aspect of it and how it can be able to maintain even after harvest. I heard that you are from the CH storage, the cold storage, apple, right? See the apple will be there up to 9 months in the cold storage, right? But you can be able to store up the apple grapes up to 9 months. Can be able to store the sea buckthorn up to 9 months. Why only apple? Why not apple? Why not mango? Why not banana? Only why the apple it can be stored up to the things. So there may be certain different things which is been happening in the apple, so that it can be able to perform much better, right? That is the much better, a little understanding that we need to have, but I didn't have to go too much deep into it, right? Because you are all into the business of it, and we'll go as and when it's run, right? I will take the questions as and when it comes, right? See the thing. The topic is that, okay, anything else, fruits and vegetables, fresh fruits and vegetables are handling. Now I talk about time and distance. As the person is your good name, sir? Shekilamu. Right. I am from Bangalore. Right. I never born next to apple. You are born next to the apple. Right. You are born next to apple. You know the apple? Apple is there throughout the world. From Jammu Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from Africa, Durban, Uganda, I don't know, but probably you just go to two odd places like Rajasthan, right? Where is Jammu Kashmir and where is Kanyakumari? Where Kanyakumari people that doesn't know, I have never seen the apple planted, right? You just go there, Kanyakumari, for every fresh, every functions, everything, there will be apple. For every social gathering, religious gathering, puja, right, prayers, you talk about it. They are doing this, they are offering apple plant, apple fruits. How it is possible? They are not used to it. They have never seen the apple tree and apple when they are born, but they used to eat. It has to travel from Jammu Kashmir to Kanyakumari almost 3,000 kilometers. Right? And just now it will be apple will be there from mid of August or the start of August? Start of August. November. Now there is no apple at all. Right? Is there any apple now?
No.
Maybe the start of the November. August, November, August, September, October. Maybe 100 days?
Yes.
Maybe 100 days.
We can go.
Yeah, 100 days. But it is getting 365 days. Right? It's getting 365 days, but just I am taking only the apple example. It is true for the grapes, probably for 3 months, 4 months, and its storage life is only just 1 week. But we are making them to be stored much longer. Right? Now, that is from a part of 100 days, it's available throughout 365 days. Right? And Jammu Kashmir from here, from some far from 30 kilometers, 100 kilometers, it's okay. It will reach the Srinagar, not issues. Probably half an hour it will take. From your place to here, how much the distance it will take? What is the distance? From your
Area.
From area?
Up to the
Srinagar.
up to this place.
Up to this place? Srinagar.
65.
65, right. 65 kilometers, maybe 1 hour. It will take 1 hour, right. If the, okay, right, 2 hours. You just imagine if the same apple has to reach from your place to Kanyakumari. How much time it will take?
15 days.
15 days it will take, right. Now we are taking into the consideration of a time and a distance, how far it is, how distance it is, right, how far it is and how distance it is. Based on those things, we can apply a post-harvest phenomena and what is the socio-economic condition there. Socio-economic condition, probably apple will be available from, what is the market rate and an average market rate in Srinagar 100 rupees, right, on average, right, retail, right. If you go to the south, probably it may not be the same case. It will go to Bangalore, it will be 150 rupees. Why from 100 rupees to why 150? And still, you just go to the one shops, you will get Granny Smith, you will get Gala, you will get Red Delicious. Probably we don't get Amri, we don't get, and then Shimla, Jammu Kashmir as well. You will get 20 types of apple because the people have ability to pay that things. Ability to pay, but I'm taking only the example of J&K, but apple is coming to Bangalore from Poland, Austria, Washington, almost 10,000 kilometers. From 10,000 kilometers, almost 6 months. Right, somewhere it was harvested, right, still it's coming. That is how the post-harvest handling will come into the picture. How far you are sending, how long you are sending, that's the importance of it, right. Okay, see the thing, I already talked about it. Why we need to understand, we have been there from Homo sapiens, from early days of Stone Age, we have reached to this level, right, we cannot go back. We cannot go back because Bangalore people they like apple like anything, right? We acclimate to it, we love it, right? Production centers and the consumption centers is far away. 2000 kilometers, 5000 kilometers, 10,000 kilometers, right? That's how that human psychology is that work. We will always look for, as and when the economic grows, social status that grows, we look for much good things, right? That is how, based on those understanding, all this handling of this fresh produce, there's a lot more of the different things it is there that I'm moving on it. See this tortoise. Do you know what it is the lifespan of the tortoise? 120 years, right? Yeah, this giant giant tortoise, they live up to 250 years. That's what they have the track it is. But there are reports that says it will live up to 400 years. They live up to, because the people cannot be able to track, but they have tracked it till 250 years scientifically. Right? What is the basic of this long life? Right? Metabolism. Right? You know, if you understand exercise and the practice of yoga and all, no, they will advocate you to respect slowly, cool, calm, right? But do exercise, do physical activity, but do very slowly. You know how this tortoise, any rain comes, any enemy comes, it always moves in this same pace, right? That will make them to live much longer because their metabolism is much lower, slower, right? How it is? It will preserve this respiration, the reserve material for further use. That is the same techniques what he is doing, right? He is making the apple to be making them to behave as good as tortoise. As good as tortoise is reducing the respiration, reducing the transpiration, reducing the temperature, right? And managing this relative humidity. See, the factors are different. See, I'm just talking respiration, transpiration, relative humidity, everything. Even if there's any one mistake will happen, all his product will go south. Is it true? Because as he is there in the field, he will because the variables are many. You need to track temperature, you need to track relative humidity, you need to track what is the level of the gas concentration, what is the oxygen, what is the carbon dioxide, whether it has been built up, whether there's intermittent warming up is required there. But I am not a specialist because we never born next to the apple. But we know this how the things will work in banana, in mango, right? The basic of this the CA story. That is the basic concept. It has been transferred to the fruits and vegetables. Right? You can keep those apples up to 9 months. Up to 9 months is enough because the fresh produce will come and by much before that thing you have to remove. The first in and first out you have to remove that wall of the lot of apples. Right? That's why I already told you there is not much difference between an animal and human beings and the fruits and vegetables. You need to handle as good as the human being, as good as the baby, as good as your pets, as good as your egg. Right? If you handle fruits and vegetables like any egg, much of the problems, the handling issues can be effectively reduced to the extent of 90%. Right? But you know, if you go to the field, grow in the field, how these foods will be handled, how it has been thrown, how it has been loaded, how it is unloaded. And there are the fruits, when they intended for this long storage, There are few different. Sir, which kind of apple will comes to your A grade comes, B grade comes, C comes, D comes.
A and B.
A and B. A and B. See, I was listening to the bankers. For the processing, you were talking about C and D, right? Whereas for the other, for the storage, B and A and B, right? Remember, you cannot put C grade and B grade to the CA storage and expecting them to behave up to store up to 6 months or 9 months. You will never get it, right? So no post-harvest things will able to improve the inferior quality of the produce last long. Only superior products can be stored and the quality can only be maintained. The moment that you will harvest, right? Assume, remember, you cannot improve the quality. Only you can able to maintain the quality. That thing, you cannot improve at all. Even a small dent, you cannot improve. From the harvest, from that point, only the quality will goes down. There is no substitute for the fresh. Fresh is always the best. Because the humans are Kanyakumari, Bangalore people, they like apple, right? For that, you need to. They cannot have a fresh as you. They need a time, they need a distance, so that to meet those requirements, you need to have a post harvest, right? Right. This is, see the things here. You don't require any sophisticated technology for this post-harvest handling. You will never. This is not a rocket science that you are talking about. Of course, see, you can measure the transpiration, you can measure the respiration, you can measure the level of this carbon dioxide and all. That's one kind of this technology, right? Remember, E requires only A grade apple. For that, they will make sure that apple should be totally mature, should not fall onto the ground, it should not be overpacked, it should not be, when it loaded onto the trucks, it should not be too much, it should not expose to the too much sunlight, so that the apple can be stored indefinitely up to 6 months. They're very simple things. We all know basic of these microbiology, pathogens, how these, suppose if the fruits fall onto the ground, millions of the microbes will get attached to the fruits, get contaminated, and from that point, the fruits will start deteriorating, probably from 1 week, 10 days, 15 days. At that moment, probably we are not able to see the things. Once it goes to the storage, probably you will see these rotting and all, right? That's the reason you need a very simple, because I could not able to add those the apple photos because I came from some other region. That way that how you will handle. See the things here, how the tomato is being handled in the crates, but handling in the crates is always much superior, much better. But when you are handling, if you do this overpacking, you will have a compression. Right? You will do the compression. That you know, when the fruits come to your CA storage, if there is a overloading of the apple even in the crates, all the first layer will go and it will also press the bottom layer. And remember, you cannot store those apples forever. Probably you will store up to 15 days, 1 month, 2 months, but you cannot. Can you be able to store those kind of apple till up to 6 months? No, right. See, whether it's apple, whether it's tomato, whether it's radish, there's always similar analogy. Right? You cannot do those get impacted, compacted, vibrated fruits for betterment. Right? See the things, you can able to show that, see, I'm going with the vehicle. See the guys, how they sitting. Do you expect that to be stored for much longer? That cannot be. But anyway, that need not to be, because he is going to the market, he has harvested, he is going to the market and it will over in 2 days. Right? He is never bothered about this. So if the same radish to be get stored for 1 month, that you need to talk about all these things. Okay, you are not supposed to expose to the sunlight, don't sit on it, use the crates, wash it thoroughly, dry, keep it in low temperature, say 340 degrees Celsius, maintain the relative humidity of 85%, 90%, so that your radish can be kept for 2 months, 3 months. That is not happening here. Some more, right? Only thing is that we should know that where are the points that you can able to minimize the issue, right? See the things here. Just a simple plastic paper and a tarpaulin laying on the ground, not allowing these foods to be directly comes in contact with the soil, will make a much better handling process. Anyway, that falling onto the ground, it will make an impact. But there are few fruits, say, suppose if the avocado is, apricot is meant for the dehydration, if it falls little, it's okay, right? In our case, nuts, it's okay, it's not a problem. But when you put those, the plastic, very easy to collect, and it's also prevent from these microbial issues, right? See the thing, our basic concern is to maintenance of the freshness. Always you have to maintain the freshness of the produce. That is the reason, right? CA storage has been coming to maintain the freshness only. Otherwise, why you need to spend crores of rupees to CA storage, right? Yes, sir. How much that will cost for once the unit of CA storage?
40 crores.
14 crores. See the thing, 14 crores of rupees.
No, sir, 40.
40, right. 40 crores of the rupees has invested for CA storage just to maintain the freshness. Right. I don't know how big it is. There are
5,000 metric tons.
5,000. There I have seen gas big as this building. Gas big as this building.
Yes.
Right. Right. See that. Do you think that getting even a 1 lakh is very difficult? Is it not? 1 lakh is also what? Putting 40 crores, 40 crores, it ought a small amount. Small money, right? When you're putting the 40 crores, there is something in it. That basically to maintain the freshness. There's nothing in it, is it not? Otherwise, if you don't want to maintain freshness, you take apple, you just dry it, or you just consume it and you throw it. Right? You have to maintain the freshness. That's why he has invested 40 crores of capital in the handling. Right? The basic fundamental is that thing. Now the 40 crores, you need not to invest 40 crores for all the produce, for all the times. Right? I will come to the pictures. Right? Where you need to invest. It's already done. Right? Right? You need to understand few things. Right? Once when you harvest, immediately within a second, carbon will be photosynthesis, that will be altered, water will be altered, gravitational orientations will be affected, right? Light will be affected, and many things is going to get affected to this produce, right? It is under the severe stress. Immediate, the moment you will harvest, it is under the stress. It no longer able to get the water, no longer able to get the photosynthesis, carbon dioxide, oxygen, all those level is getting altered, right? But we wanted to make sure that produce must be there in the freshness, right? Maybe 40 crores, maybe 40 rupees, right? With using 40 rupees or 40 crores, you can able to maintain the freshness. With 40 crores, you will be able to maintain the freshness for 9 months. With 40 rupees, you can able to maintain the freshness for 1 day or 2 days, right? When they did it, it has gone up to the level of stress. You can compare the stress level of fruits and vegetables to the human. Right. Harvesting itself is stress process. You know, see, you just hold like this. How long you can able to hold?
1.
Oh, 1. Okay. 5 seconds, 10 seconds, right?
If you used to give more than
Yeah, right.
otherwise we can hold them to 1 hour.
1 hour, right. I know this, that's the reason. The stress level, if I squeeze it little more, I am going to die. Right. If I just little, I only know. No one else can able to know those things. Right. How long he said, rightly said, if I hold like this, I can able to hold up to 1 hour, but still there is a stress. There is a strain. That's the stress, right? If you do like this, 30 seconds is enough, right?
Yes.
Right. So now we are putting the stress level. When a 40 crores, we are putting the stress level very, very minimum, very minimum. And in this open sunlight and all, right, you are just putting exposed to the fruits and vegetables to the high temperature. There's a little more stress, right? You can not able to store those quantities for 9 months at all, right? You are exposing them to 30 degrees Celsius for 1 hour. I will show you I have fantastic the pictures, right? It will reduce storage life by half or to the 70%, right? That's the reason you will make sure that you should never give any stress to that thing. That's the reason I will always make a compromise. Okay, I may not be able to spend 40 crores. I will able to spend 1 crore. I may able to spend 4 lakh rupees. Okay, let's say stress. I will able to sit on the food. I will pack tightly. Okay, I am spending only a few things, and people will willing to pay less. And when I spend 40 crores, people are willing to pay more, and the freshness will be much high. So for those things, there will be a little compromise, right? The compromise, 40 crores is less compromise. 4 lakh 40 rupees is a much severe compromise, right? So that's the need, keep them alive. Compromise must be have to be accepted, right? How this compromise? The compromise basically 3 points, right? Temperature, gas concentration, and tightness of the package. See the things, you will never allow them. At what temperature you will store your apple in your place?
1 degree.
1 degree.
0.2.
Okay, 0.5 to 1 degree.
Yes, it can be.
Up to 6 months. Up to 6 months, there won't be any changes.
No, sir.
Not.
No.
See the thing. Now I will ask him, what happens if you store at -1 degree? What happens if you store at 5 degree? That you know the difference, right? You cannot store at -2 degrees Celsius. Right? Chilling injury, right? In apple, if you store the banana 13 degree, if you store at 10 degree, 8 degree, chilling injury will happen. If you store at 15 degree, say take apple, if you store at 3 degree, instead of 6 months, in your case maybe 6 months or 9 months, I don't know. If you store at 3 degrees Celsius, I am sure that it doesn't have, apple doesn't store up to 9 months. Probably it will drastically come down. It will come down, right? So for that, he has made a compromise that okay, it will come down. I have to store it only at if I store at -1, -2, chilling injury will happen, right? Freezing injury takes place. It will also not possible. If I store at 4 degree, 5 degree, then I may not able to store much longer. Right? Okay, good thing. I will store at only 1 degree Celsius. Now then, okay, is this 1 degree is enough? Right, good. Okay, what happened to the gas concentration, oxygen? whether I can able to store at 4%, 5%, I don't know in your case, at what will be the oxygen level, whether the carbon dioxide is say 1%, 2%, what happens if the oxygen goes too much low, whether the anaerobic respiration starts, fermentation, cold smell will start. That I yes figured it out. Yes, figured it out for this location, for this varieties. These are the sir. Are you mixing the different kind of variety in the same chamber?
Yes, sir.
You are mixing, right? So he has mastered it over a period of time. Probably he might have struggled a lot during the initial stages, right? Struggled a lot. You cannot come directly at 1%, at 2%. Probably by trial and error he has made it. Now he has mastered it, and now, okay, at this stage, probably the product doesn't go wrong, right? And then tightness. If you too much of the packing, over packing, loose packing, see, there is always compromise based on this investment, based on the socio-economic purchasing power of the consumer. Because you was talking about consumer. Based in the bottom line, based on the consumer, you can able to put the technology. Higher the payment, better the technology. Lower the payment, lower the technology. Realization, because each and every one they look for the margin, right? In this case, not the bank margin of 20%. Say a profitable margin. Amount you invest, how much return that I am getting, right? That's the trade secret, right? Right. See the things here. There is always compromise. You need to have a compromise like this. Will anyone tell you where is this photo?
It's a Kashmir, sir.
It's a Kashmir.
Yes.
Right. See the thing. This photo. This is the Pachima, plum, orange, apple. After 1, 2, 3 times dragon fruit. So this is from Bangalore.
Yes.
The Mala Asia recently is one of the biggest. The Mala is over there. It is very close to that. See, we can able to have this compromise. If you want to have an apple like this, you cannot have a compromise, right? Where is the Bangalore? We are not growing the apple in the Bangalore, right? See the apple how it is. It's as fresh as that, right? There that will matter. See, I am not saying that this is bad. This is the local market. Here, the bunch of curry leaves, maybe 20 rupees. Here, the bunch of leaf at 5 rupees, at 10 rupees, at 20 rupees, right? That will matters most. Wherever you go, there is always compromise. See the things here. Done. Right. This is from this place only.
Yes. Ladakh and this Kashmir part.
You cannot have this much size in the summer in the back south. Right. Our size is maybe 200 gram, maximum, otherwise 150, 100. Right. It is more than 1 kilo or 1.5 kilos.
Yes.
Right. See the thing is, it's almost this much size.
That is much more.
The much. Always local is also very good. If you want to send these food, these turnip into the back south, you need to put lot of post harvest, right? And starting from harvesting, washing, not putting lot of pressure, tightness, right? Packing, shrivels, then the transportation, temperature, maintaining the relative humidity, that all will come to the pictures. Where is that? That's all time. Depending upon the time, depending upon the distance, that you are putting a lot of the post-harvest practices to it. Right? This over. Again the same thing here. See the things, different, your cherry tomato, you are talking about Sibaktam, right?
Yes.
Right. See the things here, how the punnet bags, grapes, even the grapes, right? There are other few, maybe not this one. That one, a local crop, neglected crop, no one will going to eat those things, but they nowadays, nowadays local is getting prominence, they're getting those, and they're selling in the punnet bags for 100 rupees, 150 rupees. Earlier, no one used to buy those things. It used to be there in the street, right? Because people are there to buy it. Why? Their economic prosperity, purchasing power. When they are willing to buy it, when the produce is there, when you put little cosmetic changes to it, you just harvest it. Don't wait. See, Bhaktan, you was telling about it should not fall onto the ground. Obviously, when you fall onto the ground, it's gone. Right? You just harvest in such a case. When you are handling mushrooms, you can handle it. When you are handling the egg, you can handle anything. Only thing that our perception has to change with these, because those guys, they know. See, you could be able to understand what is the gravity of this A-grade perception, because when I am putting the 40 crores investment, you cannot take everything in linear. Because he knows if he has got the loan to repay, the banker, they never say, no sir, I have slept the other day, the one batch has gone wrong. He never listen to those kind of things, right? He knows what is the quality, what is the importance of the quality, right? That's called awareness, perception. He has built it. That perception, awareness, quality, technology, handling has to come to the ground level. He knows, he understands much better. Because he cannot go to the field and he cannot talk to each and everyone. That perception starts from the growers, sprayers, not spraying too much into the crop before harvesting. Right? If you want to sell for the export, or don't think about only the export. The day will come. Probably FSSC was talking about the FSSC certification. Over a period of times, if you want to send the fruits to South Bengaluru, I need this kind of apple which is free from pesticides. Because I am paying it, you just supply. If you don't supply, okay, I will buy it from somewhere else. Right? For that concept has to go to the farmer level, grower level, where you must know what kind of spray you need to spray. Right? And you also know how it has to be get harvested, why the fruits should not fall onto the ground. What happens if the fruits fall onto the ground? He will never think about it. Only think about it because he is paying more. So he will always dictate the terms. Okay, you give only A grade. I will give X price. If you get the B grade, I will give Y price. Right? The price difference may be 5 rupees, 10 rupees, 20 rupees. A 5 rupees, 10 rupees is a matter. In the volume, in the bulk, I give a 5% in the volume, 2% also matters. 3% is also matter, right? In the bulk categories, that's too much, right? So they will understand that concept has to be built in. So that concept has to percolate it into the ground level, right? Because you are learning it, you know the things, right? That need to be get transferred into the ground level, all the stakeholders, in your case, growers, middlemen, loaders, unloading, in the wholesale level, retailer level, everything. How many people will be handling? And even driver also. Right? In the summer, what will be the temperature in the summer? 27. Just remember, I will give you the fantastic the examples. Suppose the vehicle has to move from farm to the CA storage field, right? Probably it may take 2 hours to reach your place or 3 hours to reach your place, right? Assume a driver parked during the 27 degrees Celsius, maybe having the cover, without the cover, or he has parked in the mid of the road next to the dhaba, just having a cup of tea, cha, and he has parked for 2 hours. 2 hours between 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock when temperature is too high. What will be your reaction to it? When the drivers loaded with the apple of 10 tons capacity, he has parked that vehicle to just have a tea or a cigarette and to have chit chat with someone else. He grounded his vehicle in the afternoon when the temperature is high. Right. What is your reaction? Now, next time asking, what is your reaction to it?
Furious.
Will you agree with him or okay, will you say it's okay? That's it.
Agree.
Why?
Because we see the apples in their attention, for example, which are carried for the whole truck or other fruit.
Alright. Okay. You know the consequences of economic consequences of it. Right. If the dry items coming to it, not issues. If any grinds, if any non-living material, if the stone, anything is coming, okay. If you say that okay, I am taking rest in mid of the day, I cannot able to drive the vehicles, it's okay, right? But anyway, we are not recommended to transport the vehicle during the odd noon hours, right? When the temperature is high. But when it's happening to apple, right, grounding for 2 hours, it has got a significant economic consequences. Only people who are involved in it know these differences. Grounding the vehicle for 2 hours, not running continuously, right? That makes the differences. For these things, you need not to have a rocket science. Only you need to have a certain little common sense in it. Right? Whatever it is, you need to have a post-harvest component in it. Whether it is 2 kilometers, 5 kilometers, 100 kilometers, 1000 kilometers, 10,000 kilometers. Right? This is where time and the distance come into the pictures. Normally, apple is grown here, consumption will happen in Bangalore, Tamil Nadu. Right? Production is here, consumption is there. Right? There is always a gap. Right? Post-harvest handling bridges the gap between producer and the consumer. Right? They bridge the gap between Jammu Kashmir and the people of Bangalore through the post-harvest. And the gap is only a time and a distance. Right? That's what he is talking about CS storage, where you can able to store up to 6 months and 9 months at time, and the distance of around 2,500 kilometers. If you want to understand, see the concept of, you heard about kitchen garden, right? Yes. You heard about the kitchen garden. See, remember in the kitchen garden, you started preparing any dish, you need a coriander, you need a lemon, you need something XYZ, right? Immediately you will go and you will get, right? You will go to the, if that's the case, that's the kitchen garden, you will go there and you will get in 2 minutes, and the distance is hardly 10 meters, say 20 meters, right? 2 minutes and 10 meters, right? In that sense, in that case, you don't require any post-harvest at all. You don't require any post-harvest, right? But still, sometimes, if the dog was running around, if they do this, any urination, fecal materials, rodents and all, probably you need to wash. So, still we need little post-harvest like washing, right? See this, the concept. More time and distance, maximum post-harvest requirement. And the less time and distance, minimum post-harvest requirement. Very, very, very less, right? But apple, we need more. Whereas the coriander, in between the kitchen garden, we require very less. Right, just I am running it. See the things here. If you want to understand what is the gap, see, I put this Srinagar to Bangalore. I want to send this apple. Right, what is the distance? The distance is around 3000 kilometers. You need 54 hours. 54 hours in the car, but in the truck, almost more than 100 hours. Right? More than 100 hours it will take. Almost 4 days. Is it? Are you sending to Bangalore?
Bangalore to Shotinam.
You are not sending to Bangalore. Right. Then, okay, you will say that, okay, the time is the matter. I will send through these flights. It will take around 4 hours 30 minutes. Right. Okay, you don't want to send it to the truck. That is not, it's taking too much time. I will send to the air shipment. You will understand the down. And the same thing, Bangalore, if you want to send to Bangalore to Kochi, right? It will take 1 hour to the flight, and whereas 10 hours through the road, right? You just send any items, right? It's a normal thing. See the things. We may wonder that, okay, we need not to send these through these air shipment from Srinagar to Bangalore, because within the country. If it's out of the country, invariably it has to go through the air shipment, right? Air shipment. So if you want to send these to the Paris from Bangalore, how much it takes? This is a passenger, it is not the cargo plane, maybe 1 hour, 2 hours here and there, right? It will take almost 11 hours, 11.5 hours. You just see this picture. Now you just from Srinagar to Paris, how much? 12 hours. From Bangalore to Paris, 11 hours. Srinagar to Paris, 12 hours. Right, almost 13 hours. Yes. Now you just see the thing. From Mumbai, port of Mumbai to port of your Paris, right? Through the sea shipment, how much it will take? If it's ships running at normal speed is around, cargo ship is around 20 knot, right? It will take 11.4 days. This is, you can go to this website and you can check, right? You can adjust all those things, right? Now, to arrive, this is only for the shipment, harvesting, storage, packing, right? That will take one day. From transporting from Bangalore to Mumbai, or from Srinagar to Mumbai, or from Srinagar to Kutch, right? It will take another 1 day. Your quarantine, quarter sanitary certification, almost you take 2.5 days, right? From there again, unloading at the France, another 1 day, 2 days. Totally it will be around 11 plus 4, 15 or 16 days, right? That much. You just see another year. If it is to New York, from 11 days, it will gone up to 18, 19 days. Right, the distance is much. If you want to send to other part of this west coast of US, another 3-4 days extra. Right, like the California, like Los Angeles, San Francisco. Right. See, from air shipment 16. Why we won't send through this air shipment is, see the picture here. The transportation cost of air shipment is almost 10 times much higher than the air shipment. This is the real picture. See the things here from Mumbai to Dubai. Air 0.78, almost say $1. It's not even a $0.1 in the sea shipment. Shipment level cost will be comes down to the 1/10 when you have these sea shipment. Now here is the time. Why we cannot able to compete with the sea shipment? Because when you don't have the post-harvest capability like not harvesting gently, right maturity, falling onto the ground, allowing soil microflora, not washing, not putting onto the crates, not harvesting in the cool hours of the day, and drivers grounding the vehicles on the mid of the road, right? These are the small things. Small things will add up and we cannot able to compete. That's the reason you are not able to compete with the rest of the world. Right? Probably we are sending a lot of the goods to the Gulf, the Middle East, right? But that is not the market. The market is wide open, right? And we will sending this from Jammu Kashmir, the apple to the Bangalore through the truck, right? Through the truck, 54 hours, say 100 hours. Here, exact time and distance will come into the pictures, right? And this is the reefer container cost. Right. Now, I will quickly move. Normally 30-40% post-harvest law, that is not the 30-40% post-harvest law. It has come down from 18 to, as you are all running late, from 18% to 4 to 15%, 4 to 15%, again into 10, 15, 22, a lot of studies has been done, right? See these, understand this, the picture. What will be the, now I skip this difference between these agronomic and horticulture produce. Why these cereal crops are much lesser? Why these fruits and vegetables are much higher? Why the milk is much lesser, fish little less, meat and poultry? You just remember, we normally we don't waste meat, we don't waste milk, we don't waste poultry meat. Okay? Those are costly and we are handling very much, quantity is much less. Whereas for the fruits, they are perishable. Right, they respire, they transpire, they're like human beings. We need to handle like a baby, we need to handle like mushroom, we need to handle like egg, but we are not doing it. Right. So, this is what over a period of time how the loss is, it is. Then, see the things here. Over a period of time, from 20 to 30% loss, you are bring down to 6 to 11% in the fruits and vegetables. Right. This is what the post-harvest loss is. Right. See the things here. After overall loss will be from minimum 10.39 to maximum of 31%. Right. Average. That's average across India. This is the where it will happen. You don't need this one. Almost see the things here. Total loss in farm operation, total loss in storage. Right. Probably you will understand what is the loss in the storage. When you put it, those things in the storage, normally percentage of loss is much lesser than compared to the one which is going to be get lost in this farm operation, and the transit loss is also very less. Right. That's what that earlier Mr. Sharma was talking about. Right. What the infrastructure they require, the supply, why it has happened, supply side problem issues. Right. Another one, you need to have, whether you have better post harvest or not, you need to support the local. Right. When you support local economy will grow. Right. You need not to always see maybe one or two couple of CS storage are there. All the apples are not being stored like this. Right. Local people, they will buy from the local consumer will buy from the local growers. The money will circulate in their itself. Right. It doesn't goes out. Right. People will get to know the fresh fruits, seasoned fruits that will grow the local economy. and it is happening throughout the world. Right? That is what the Pradhan Mantri, one district, one product will came into the picture. Right? For the Ladakh, probably, I don't know which, probably Africa, maybe, one district, one product. The government of India, they launched the one district, one product. For the Ladakh, maybe Africa it seems. Ladakh, right? And here also, Jammu Kashmir, lot of apple, few in the few districts, maybe something like that.
From district to district.
Yeah, it changes from district to district, right? See, always you must support the local economy, local growers. That's how that will rotation of things, as already discussed about things, right? This is from here, right? That's from our side. Right. When you go to the local, you will get the fresh things. Then we need to learn from lot of things from the history also, because of the want of time that I am just skipping it. Right. We are not doing anything new here. We are not at all doing anything new. It is already done. It is already been, even CA storage has been documented. Probably we were thinking about that the CA storage is very new and we are state of the art where you can able to control these carbon dioxide, oxygen, temperature, relative humidity and all. But it's all done. It's all done way back 2200 years ago. Right. Probably you would have seen the things for cellular storage like this, where they advocated this storage temperature, gas composition, and they advocated not allowing the person to enter into the silos because there is a lot of gas variation. You just ask him that guys, once you close the CA storage, no one will enter up to 6 months. Right? And even people, they never open at all. Right? You know, if you open, what is the consequences, economic consequences of it. Right? Right? Economic consequences and life consequences of it. Right? It has been documented in, way back in Roman Act. Right? And even just to check whether people can able to enter in it, they advocated the burning, lowering the burning lamp. Right? So in your case, how long you will, when you will go and enter into the CA storage, how much time you will take? Sir? How much time you will take to enter into the CA storage once it's operated? 1 day, 2 days? 2 days. 2 days. See the things here. You know what happens if you enter immediately. Right? The people will collapse and people will die. Is it true, sir?
Yes, sir.
Right. It is documented 2100 years ago. So, we need to learn few things from the history also, right? Right. All these things we are doing it just to manage the quality, freshness, and reduce the losses that I already talked about it, right? And just already I was talking about it. This is not a rocket science. A simple common sense will make them to work much better. I just doing summer for the leafy herbs, just spraying a little water will make them to be much qualitatively much better compared to not spraying. For spraying, not at all cost too much. Whereas for these things also, this from the Walmart, right? You just put in the sprayer, fogger, collecting this water, that cost investment too much. Or just put a spray water on it, that is also thing. But analogy, basic principles remain same. Lot of simple practices. Simple practices, like you just think about it like in the layer Ladakh, not following the apricot fall onto the ground, right? Just before washing, before drying, you just wash and dry. After drying, superficial wash and dry and store. Those are the very simple things, right? Probably we never, after once they dry, we directly will go to the storage. You can wash, you can dry it again, and you can store it. Those are the simple intervention that will make the product to last qualitatively much more superior. That's what this understanding those things. Remember these things, right? We need to, nothing, I already told you, There's nothing, no chemical exists in the world, no miracle. Take a good product, store well. Take a bad product, you cannot store well at all. It will be there only for 1 or 2 days, right? No chemical, people will say that you spray this chemical, you do these things, and you will become many things. Nothing will happen. Only good products can be stored for much better time, and the people will appreciate only this good. And this is the cycle in it. In the post-harvest, once you are harvest, nothing will stop. Supply chain will come into the picture. It has to make sure that it will go till to the end, where you will have a much better quality of the product. The cycle has to be right. You have to wash, you have to dry, you have to grade, you have to sort it, you have to pack it. You will reach the consumer to the end, right? These are the one just to show that all these fruits and vegetables, they are very diverse and all. Right. See this apple. This is one. Apple. We know the vaccine is very popular. Right. Will you do vaccine for your apple?
Yes, sir.
The vaccine. Right.
Yes.
What is the vaccine? Whether it's a polyethylene or the carnauba vaccine? CMC. Right. That is the organic. Right. We are not using the polyethylene. Right. That can be edible. I will show you this one particular the pictures. How the propaganda will move here. The propaganda, and then how to tackle those things. Then a lot of things will come in the social media. You have to demystify it. I am not talking about all these, the details of about. I will quickly run through it. Mango that you don't require. Simple harvesting tools, not allowing the fruits to fall directly onto the ground. Right. Preventing the impact, there is a lot more to do. Right. See, very simple. We normally Maharashtra, Ooty, they grow a lot of strawberry. That harvesting each and individual strawberry and holding into your palm. When you want to harvest one more, you will squeeze another 3. Right? If you have a gloves like this, it will be available in maybe couple of 100 rupees, a small, even 100 rupees. That will helps in long way managing the quality of the strawberry. Right? That's what I said it. A simple, effective solution will help in managing the quality of any produce. Right? And something like in case of the mango, don't allow the mango to be fallen to the ground. Right? If it happens, it will be a lot of contamination issues. Right? You just make sure that it doesn't. And it also makes sure that it doesn't overfill. Right? Even putting these herbs, cauliflowers, in the crates like this, right? It will have a much better effective method. And you are judging like this, right? See the things here? In the melons, we are talking about the melons, judging the harvesting things, and things that came, in the melons, in the bottom you have a small spot, right? Yellow, brown spot, right? We put because once it falls onto the ground, the level of contamination will go up, the microbes will enter into it. So what they will do is, this is small kind of things, a plastic, it will be available for 2 rupees, right? 2 rupees, they will making the fruits on it, in the field. Thousands of thousands. See, one muskmelon, one watermelon cost 20 rupees, 30 rupees, even 50 rupees. And these are reusable. So that even when you want to make in the quality, these things will come. Right? Simple things like this, are you using effective ladder systems while you harvesting? That I am not going to too much into it. We are doing this kind of things in this mango, people are started using about these things so that the fruit doesn't fall onto the ground. Right? And aluminum ladder. See, the difference between you can have it as a ladder, what is the weight of the ladder, whether the workers, you can able to carry those things. Probably some things, it will look absurd, for over a period of time. Probably few things it may be very new, probably few things may not be working right now. Probably in the days to come, in the 5 years, in the 10 years, all these things will become a very common things. Right? One who catch up much earlier, they